Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're here today, me and my son Nicholas,
Hi.
to talk to you today about our trip to Florida during Christmas. Son, why don't you tell them what you did when we went to Florida?
I drove all the way down there, and I'm just gonna tell you, if you ain't never drove through Atlanta, I don't put it on your things you want to do list, because it is absolutely horrible. I don't care what he says about there wasn't that much traffic. To me, it was packed. There was 6 lanes of traffic, and every one of them lanes had at least 2 cars in it, and it was crazy for me.
My son is 16 and he just has got his permit, and that was my way of teaching him how to drive, is throwing him on the interstate and letting him drive to Florida and back. But our first stop was at a gas station in Florida. It was called Jasper. And
Wasn't 10 minutes we were in Florida. I mean, it was right as soon as we'd crossed over.
and we had stopped at a Buc-ee's on the way down there.
And it was in Georgia.
And I got a brisket sandwich, and it was really good, especially for getting something about 2 o'clock in the morning. Something hot and good. It really hit the spot, and we got gas, didn't we?
Yeah, and I got an Italian sandwich, and it was good. But it don't take much to make me like something. So.
And we left on December 24th.
Christmas Eve.
And when we got down there on Christmas Day, there wasn't much open. And the first thing we did was we tried to eat at a place called Perkins. And Perkins wasn't open. So what we did was, since we got defeated there, we went to Busch Gardens, didn't we?
Yeah, Busch Gardens.
And let's see here. Here we are at Busch Gardens. And they had an amazing kangaroo there. And Nicholas got to see the kangaroo. And not only that, but they also had flamingos. But we really struck out going to Busch Gardens because my son Nicholas, he's a little on the heavy side, and so am I. And the good rides, he couldn't fit in the seats, could you, son?
No, but no normal person could, because it had to go all the way down to like where your stomach meets your legs, and it was really hard to fit into, and it probably wasn't just for me. It's probably a lot of people.
Well, the next day, no, scratch that. We're still on the 25th. The only restaurant we could find after we struck out at Busch Gardens was, we found a place called Duff's, and that was in Tampa. And it was right next to a place called Clearwater.
It was in Clearwater. It was in Clearwater, Florida, actually.
And they still, it was Christmas Day. They still had their Christmas tree up, and Nicholas got his picture taken.
Now the thing about it is, I'd wanted to go because he'd always talked about when he went as a kid, it wasn't just a buffet, but it was a circular buffet where the food would like move while you was trying to get it. So I'd always wanted to go there, and I said, if we ever go to Florida, that's one place I want to go, and we went.
I took a picture of my plate that I made, and that was at Duff's at Clearwater, Florida, next to Tampa. and it was awesome. It was. There were so many people wanting to get in there on Christmas Day.
It took us almost an hour to get in.
They were wrapped around the building. And then the next day,
No, same day, we headed to the Everglades.
well, we did. We went to the Everglades, and the best part about going to the Everglades from Tampa
Was the
was
scenery.
the scenery. We drove across something called the Sunshine Bridge, and it was amazing. And the Sunshine Bridge goes across Tampa Bay. Show the picture you took there, Nicholas, of
I got that picture there. I thought the scenery was just perfect.
a very beautiful place. If you go to Florida, I highly recommend going across Sunshine Bridge over Tampa Bay. It was unbelievable.
We also, speaking of Tampa Bay, we got to drive past Raymond James Stadium where the Buccaneers play. And I would have got me a picture, but they had it closed off from every place you could get in.
Yeah. And anyway, we drove down to the Everglades, and it was in the middle of the night, and the people down there wasn't very friendly to us. We had plenty of cash to pay for a room, and they'd only take like a debit card, and you had to give your bank information. And I didn't want to do all that. I just wanted to pay with cash, and they wouldn't let us stay down there. So we went and left the Everglades, and we drove back to Naples, Florida. And we ended up staying at Baymount.
Baymont, yeah.
Yeah, Baymont. And they were really friendly, and I did have to end up giving them my debit card because we figured out every hotel was doing us that way, right?
Right, yeah.
So we're not huge travelers. We didn't know. We brought cash because we thought we'd need cash, and it turns out I should have put all my money in the bank.
Because they don't take nothing but debit cards.
Yeah, next time we'll know better, right?
But and the rooms, they were really nice. We got a good overlook of our room had a nice view.
Right here's a view from our balcony, and let's see here. Right here's Nicholas next to a palm tree.
Which are bigger in person than what they look on the picture.
And right there's the motel in the background there. And the first thing we did the next day, because we were so disappointed we didn't get to eat at Perkins on Christmas Day on the 26th, we found a Perkins, and we ate there.
Now, let me tell you, when you order food, don't ever think you ain't gonna get enough, because they give you the most outrageous amount of food that you could have. And it was good. There's me munching down on some pancakes, and it was really good. Like, if you go to Florida, check out Perkins.
Yeah, we really enjoyed eating at Perkins. There's no doubt about that.
The service was good. Food was even better. The only thing about it is it was like a maze trying to get there. Our GPS would tell us to go one way, and then Perkins would be in the opposite direction. So,
and we're out of towners anyway, so you're in a strange place. You don't know where you're going.
the traffic's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got honked at one time driving because I changed lanes, and I guess the guy behind me thought I was too close.
And on the 26th, we decided, well, I kind of thought that we would stop and watch a 4DX movie on the way home. And I was thinking Knoxville, and I thought, well, by the time I got there, they'd be closed. It'd be in the middle of the night. I said, let's go to Orlando, because they had a 4DX theater in Orlando. And we took I-4 from Tampa to Orlando. And on our way to Orlando, we seen all these cops on motorcycles. They was pushing all the traffic to the right-hand side.
Stopping the whole highway.
And we were like, what's going on?
And, you know, something had to been going on.
And we thought like the president was coming through there or something. And it was a huge tour bus.
Well, team bus.
Team bus coming through, escorted by Orlando police or Florida police, whoever they were. And they were going to the Citrus Bowl.
North Carolina Gamecocks.
To play in the Citrus Bowl.
Which unfortunately they lost, but you know, it was cool seeing them drive by, you know.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
Knowing that Lenora Sellers was somewhere on that bus, and of course me, a big sports fan, I freaked out, you know. What? Oh, South Carolina Gamecocks. I get the two mixed up a lot, but it was the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Well, right here is a picture of me and Nicholas getting ready to go into the movie theater to see Sonic 3. And right here I am in front of the Sonic 3 poster that they had down there. Here Nicholas is in front of the Sonic 3 sign. And I gave him $10 because we got there like an hour before the movie started. And he played this game. And it was amazing.
Which, it would have helped. It was because it was a motorcycle game. You had to lean on it. And it would have helped if they'd have put the footrests like they do on the actual motorcycles or something to put your foot on, because you couldn't lean, because then your feet would hit the ground, and I got unbalanced real quick.
They were also playing the Mufasa movie.
Now, what did we think about the movie?
I thought that was an amazing movie to be seen in 4DX.
Oh yeah, we got soaked.
And I enjoyed watching Jim Carrey not only play himself, but also play his grandfather. And it was just like watching the same person play two parts in a movie.
And he broke the fourth wall in the movie about it too. He broke the fourth wall. And I hadn't got thrown around like that ever. I mean, when we say them seats move, they move for sure. I mean, I ain't got that thrown around on a roller coaster.
Well, and I'll tell you, after we watched that movie in Orlando, first of all, we had to park in a parking garage in Orlando, walk to the theater. In downtown Orlando, it looked amazing.
Oh, it was very beautiful.
They had the most amazing restaurants. We wish we could have ate at every one of them.
Yeah, everyone. I mean, they were just your mouth would start watering just by the name and the look of it. I mean, it was just like, oh my gosh, if we had the money, we could just go up and down getting, the smallest menu item at every one of them, just so we could eat.
But we had to come home early because our check engine light came on. And so I told Nicholas, I said, we can't get stuck down here in Florida. We got to get...
We were going to go to the beach next. Or at least try to.
You're right. Well, at that point, it didn't matter. We got to eat at Perkins. We got to eat at Duff's. We got to go to Beach Gardens.
Busch Gardens, yeah.
Yeah, we got to go see Sonic 3 and 4DX, which was amazing.
We got to see the South Carolina Gamecocks.
And it was just time to go home. So, you know,
And I'll tell you, when you talk about the Everglades being southern, it's southern because when you drive through the Everglades, it's nothing but back roads, and you feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere, and it's so dark that you have to turn your brights on everywhere you go.
well, I thought since it was winter, I said we're not going to try to go back to the Everglades after we were disappointed because I said if there were any alligators out, surely we would have seen them along the side of the road or something.
It was so dark at one point, I saw the interstate.
And it was winter time, December 26th. So we said chances are, even if we go back, we're not going to see anything.
And it was so dark that at one point I saw the interstate and I was driving. I thought all the cars on the interstate were on the road and it was like an exit. And I was like, what in the world am I supposed to do? Because I thought, to me there was cars coming from all directions. Like I couldn't tell where they were coming from.
Well, I believe I've told you everything there is to know about our trip to Florida. But we're thank you for tuning back in with us. We're so glad that we got to check in with you today. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. That really helps us out. And like and comment so that Facebook knows that we're putting good material out there. YouTube. Did I say Facebook? Well, I meant YouTube. Well,
put that on the blooper reel, folks.
Yeah, put that on the blooper reel. That's for sure. Well, we'll see you next time. Bye.